got hella options. I ain't vibing with no people that are toxic. I got options. I got hella options. I ain't fucking with you if I think you toxic. I got options. I got hella options. I ain't vibing with no people that are toxic. I got options. I got hella options. I ain't fucking with you if I think you toxic. I got hella options. Matter of fact, I got a bad chick. She from Compton. My other chick voted my ass back. She thought that ass back and asked me for that cash out. Hey, dick so good, make her wanna give me cash back.
All right. Welcome, beautiful beings. Oh, so grateful. So you were just hearing one of my homies. Shout out to Med Derek and Fortunate. That track was called Options. I love to showcase a local artist, or actually they're not local, but an artist that I personally know. So shout out to Med Derek and Fortunate. I don't know the homie, but you know, Soul Tribe, what up? So welcome. Oh my gosh, I am so grateful you are here because you've signed up to my first ever Conxcious Productions online webinar. This is my first time doing a pre-recorded webinar. I'm so excited that you are here. It's not an accident you're here. And we're going to do the thing. We're going to go through the process. I'm going to show you some journal prompts. I'm going to show you what I do, how I've taught people, and the things that I've accumulated as tools over this past 27 years that I've lived on Earth. So, and beyond actually, because all the teachings are also being shared through me from other lifetimes, from other species, from other galactic light years and billions of light years away. And I have master teachers, as do you, have master teachers that come from other species as well. So thank you for being here. I'm so grateful. And we are going to begin. So I'm going to go through this process as if you are new to Conxcious Productions, and this is my first video, so we're going to go through stuff that's new. So Conxcious Productions is a company based on multi-sensory and multi-production company. So there's performance, and there's holistic healing, and there's finance as well, and eco-sustainability. So there's different platforms, different pillars. Today we're going to focus on how to release the fear. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you're here again. This I've already lit. I've already cleared and set the intention. I was having some heart anxiousness and excitedness, so I lit some cedar to help ground that. Cedar is very potent in that way of rooting down. It's a very unique scent, not like the white sage that you usually smell, so it has a certain sense of clearing that it does. So I lit that already. I'm so excited. Please bring your water. You can pause this whenever you'd like. Bring your water and your healing books as well. It's going to be so important for you to be hydrated, stay in a space of zone instead of getting up and moving. If you do need to go to the washroom, definitely by all means. And I am gonna do the damn thing, so let's go. So I'm gonna take some water, and we're gonna do this. All right, so welcome, beautiful beings, and we're gonna start with a meditation. So you can take a moment if you're on the road and this is in your hand. If I'm in your hand, whatever PDA, personal electronic device you're using, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You can just take an internal moment without your eyes being closed. And if you're not familiar with that, that's a beautiful practice to practice. That's another thing that I teach my clients as well, how to integrate meditation as a lifestyle. I am so greatly honored and given these gifts to teach people. So here I am. You can take a moment and set the intention of what you want to receive from this space, from this video on how to release fear. If you're watching this right now, there's a really interesting time in our humanity. It's a really interesting time on Earth. And I asked my guides and the Most High please show me, and I'm getting teary-eyed, whew, please show me how I can be of service, how I can provide the right type of tools for people. And if you're seeing this 10 years from now, you'll feel the pressure and intensity that people were feeling, which is what guided me through to put this video up. So that's what you'll be feeling as well. Don't worry, it's not going to be stuck in your body. It's just why this came out the time that it did. So if you are in a space that you're able to hold a really gentle meditation, set an intention with your breath. That's the next step. So you can close your eyes if it's available. And as you close your eyes, you're going to close your eyes with intention again. They don't have to be too hard. They're just very gentle, very soft. Your thoughts are magic wands, okay? So take that with you and just start. We'll do 5 breaths. Breathing in. Expanding your diaphragm in towards the camera and as back as the wall. Exhale. Grounding into your root. Inhale. Taking up a little bit more space in the side body here. And exhale. Breathing in, expanding your space, grounding into the root of who you are. If you're sitting, if you're standing, ground into that being through the actual space, through the transit, through the home. Feel your root rooting into the earth. And exhale. This one's going to be extra loud as you breathe in. Emphasize it. Pause at the top. And exhale through the mouth. I love doing those breaths. Especially for a really hyper active, hyper capitalistic society. Those exhales, when I feel clients doing them, they feel so good to hear. All right, so thank you so much, everybody. Again, you'll hear me say thank you again. Like, I'm just so grateful you are here, present. So yeah. How to release fear. The reason why I wanted to talk about this again is because we're in a pandemic. It's happening worldwide, and I know how to help people release fear. I do that every single day with my clients, and I hold space. So I'm going to teach you these tools and know how to integrate this. So 5 years down the road, 3 years down the road, 2 years down the road, you're going to know and evolve the skill that I'm teaching you right in this moment. So take what you need, take some notes if you need. You're going to have your own sort of questions that you develop from this video. So aside from the questions that I give you, there's going to be questions that you're going to make on your own. And please, by all means, write those questions out. If you get more information and more downloads through this video that you want to answer deeper into your subconscious, I'm definitely going to encourage that as well. Okay, so we're going to go into the thick of it. This first thing that I wanted to add is fear. Before we even release fear, what is it? What is fear? So that's a great journal prompt for you to understand within yourself. Before you even know what we're trying to leave and recreate, what exactly is fear? So journal it out, see what comes up. Fear is money. Fear is not eating well. Fear is being controlled. Fear is an insect. Like, what is it? What is it? Let's go into it. We have this term that is spoken in English words. Fortunately, I don't know another language that well to do this in another language, but soon come in French. But for now, this is just in English. So how do you define it in layman's terms? What does fear mean to you? So I want you to write that down. Fear, to me, this is what the guides have shared with me. They're going to be they're at the forefront of this, and I'm just a vessel. and all of my knowledge that I know as a human, and a soul, eternal soul, is coming through as well. So fear to me means something that keeps you stuck. Fear to me is something that protects you. Fear to me is in a very reptilian concept, caveman, an understanding of fear in that way. Fear to me means our breath changes. Ooh, excuse me, it's late. The hustle is real, so I'm going to be yawning. It is what it is, okay? Fear to me means there's a prevention of something. When we say fear, there's almost like a negative connotation to it, and I'm going to talk about how there's a positive side to fear that we can actually help transmute. All these different negative energies that we go through are actually signals and indicators that we can be better, do better, live better, create new cycles. They're all telling us something that we want about. So that's a good sign that we have this fear, okay? All right, so where does fear lie within your life? When I first started going into that, I realized fear encompassed my whole life. Like, I didn't even know there was parts in myself that was fearful. And so I want you to go, like, just give yourself into this journal prompt. Like, go in. If you need to record yourself instead of writing because you're not a writer, totally fine. I'm very much a writer. So I will write. And I'm like, holy fuck, I didn't even, oh. Make sure your kids are around or not around. Holy shit. I didn't know I was afraid about this. I didn't know I was afraid that I would have food on the plate. I didn't know I was afraid that I was afraid of what people thought of me. I didn't know I was afraid that this person had control over me. I didn't know I was afraid that I didn't feel beautiful enough. I didn't know I was afraid of other people's opinions about my life. I didn't know I was afraid of what people will say about me. And once I acknowledged that, that's when I was able to heal more. Because I am a quote unquote spiritual person, metaphysical person, esoteric person, there was a lot of, I'm a very power-headed individual as well. So I'm like, we're not just gonna do this. We're gonna reach for the stars. We're gonna reach for the cosmos. So instead, example, we're not just gonna reach for like $1,000. We're gonna reach for 5. Not knowing how that was gonna happen, but I was just gonna, like, you know, reach for that. And so through that process, it came into my healing as well. I'm not gonna reach for this. Like, I'm not gonna be so honest with my subconscious reality that I'm fearful of this, because I'm not. And if I say I'm fearful of it, then I'm gonna taint my reality. And that was part of the fear. I was fearful that I was fearful. Right? So like I was fearing fear, and then I wasn't giving myself enough space to heal. Now I say my own story because I help people heal through my story, because I have really beautiful stories to share, and that's one of my power tools as a human. So you'll hear a lot of stories as a human, because I feel like sometimes the esoteric can get really out there, and so I reel it back in as a human self, right? So once I allowed myself to, like, okay, I surrender. So what will you surrender to in this process as you acknowledge the fear? Is before we release it is really important. All right. Right. So as you go through that, you're going to see some understandings of where you sit, where you lie, where your beliefs are on fear, how you define fear, and how you interact with fear. And now the next question is how you interact with fear on a day-to-day basis. Ooh. That is so important for me to say, because we think it doesn't interact on a day-to-day basis, but it does. I'm going to give an example. Someone from my soul tribe, They had a really bad experience with animals when they were younger, and that shaped the rest of their years of living here on Earth. And so it impacted their day-to-day, because they never in a million years would see themselves have a dog. They would never in a million years be around a dog. And so things like that shape your reality on a day-to-day basis. Like him having a dog is not even a question, because they have that experience. So how does fear interact in your daily life? We're going to be going about an hour or less, depending on how much channelings come through. I don't want to overly pack it, but I also I have some notes. This is like my grounded version of me, making sure I give you the right content that you came on here for. Also, I just wanted to add, this is my little cutie branding, Conxcious Productions, CP. That is my business. That is how I funnel all these magical gifts. And here we are. So once you do that, and you can put me on pause, like write it out, or you can just write it out after. That's totally fine. Now I need you to do, this is going to be a physical activation of identifying where fear lies within your body. So we're going to the subconscious state. The subconscious state is interacting with the immune system, the muscular skeletal system, and it's also interacting with the chemicals in our body as well. So for me right now, my fear is there's different parts of fear that I'm still addressing, and I transmute them, which is going to be my next topic that I'm going to be talking about soon. So for now, yes, I still have some fear. Where my fear is sitting at the moment is in my shoulder, right here in between my shoulder blades. But yesterday I got a massage, and yesterday it transferred over to my left side, and it's been hurting like a okay, so I need you to do a gentle scan of your body. Okay, so what that means is you can stand, or you can sit, whatever feels or looks good. I would even suggest doing this on your yoga mat as well, if you have a yoga mat. And in that process, start stretching and having, again, the intention. And when you set intentions, don't just use your brain. Let your body feel these intentions. Let your throat, your mouth, your nose, your eyes, your heart feel these intentions. So you can stand up and you can just you can stand up if you like, and you could just do a scan with your hands. So you warm them up. See if I can pull this back. Okay. Warm it up, 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 warm it up. Start from the head. Scan your body, scan your body, scan your body. A lot of people hold fear in their jaw as well. So if you feel the tension there, that's a way that you can do face yoga and stretch that shit out. Okay, scan, 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 all the way in your armpits and your hands. Where does the fear lie? Going through all the body, down, back of the legs, in between the legs, in between your toes and your ankles as well, and do that scan. Okay, that's a simple scan. Or you can actually, on your yoga mat, once you do that, actually you could do the scan, then you can be on your yoga mat if that's something that's available for you, but this is just a suggestion. And then once you identify the scan, I need you to stretch it out. I need you to massage, open up your aura, open up your muscles, your muscle fibers, and play with it like an accordion. Play with your body like an accordion. And through that experience, you'll actually see what exactly about fear is lying there. So all the questions that we asked about, that I got you to write about before, you're going to notice where they're actually sitting in your body. Are they sitting on your eyebrows? Like some people, they're just like, this, like, and vibe like that. So this experience, and this is another tool you can use. So anytime you feel some sort of fear, do the scan, warm up your hands, create some magic love. What do you want when you identify the fear? Do the scan, and then you can send the fear into the earth. You can move it from the crown all the way down. The earth is, what the term when people say, wow, this person is so grounded. What that means is they're very like level-headed. They're very present, they're very gentle, they're very calm, but they're not a pushover, right? So earth is a very powerful magnifying tool that can literally move mountains, like moving tectonic plates. So imagine what it can do with fear. And we are part of that energy as well. So when you send that energy down into the earth, you can actually receive other energies. So this is like a qigong exercise as well. So you're going this, and you can get a nice flow to it, and then you can rise the energy up, breathing in, pulling it down, and then rise at what energy you need up. So that's another exercise. Second is going out full out stretch vibes. Like if you have a foam roller, bring that stuff out, bring it out. We're gonna stretch out this fucking fear. We're gonna transmute all this shit. So as you're stretching out, open up sideways, neck all the way around. Just do what feels good. Start with very simple techniques, and all the way making sure you stretch out your whole body and your booty. And you realize that you're like, oh shit, this part's a little tight. But you'll know it's about the fear because you set an intention of, hey body, I want to search you. I want to do. This is what we're doing before the stretch and before your yoga asana, if that's something you're familiar with, saying, hey, connecting and talking to your body, like, hey body, I'm going to do a stretch right now, and I'm going to check in and see where fear is with us. Like, where are we holding this, and where are we holding this? Why and where? Let's do this. Let's see where it is. So you're actually telling your body, and your body is listening. If your body is not, 22:22 on this recording clock. I love it. Your body is not stupid. It's actually listening to every single thing that you say. I need you to really take that in. Your body is listening to everything that you eat, everything that you do, everything that you speak. So it's important to know that our bodies are willing, so long as we are willing. So with that, we'll find out where our fear is. And you can go into there and be like, okay, why are you holding up? Why are you holding it there? Why is it that? So when I had to do this, when I had to check in with my fear over here, I was like, all right, what's going on here? Like, ask yourself that question. What the hell's going on here? And as you're asking yourself that question, moving your body up and down, back and forth, moving it all, making it mobile in all different ways. Even though that it seems tight, what you're doing is you're breaking the muscle memory and creating new muscle memory. Because our muscles have memory. We are a memory. Every single part of our muscles have memory. Every single part of our bodies, our limbs have memory. So when we're doing that, we're actually breaking the fascia in a healthy way and recreating a new reality. So when we're doing that, what I'm doing is like my hands on here, or I'm just like rotating back and more, rotating my rotating cuff back and forth, like, all right, what's going on here? What shows up? And I'm being silent at the same time, holding space for like, oh, that's interesting that memory just showed up. Why did that memory show up in that moment that you moved that muscle? It's because it was held there. It was held there. And so we're like, okay, thank you for showing me this. Now I am willing to, have more of a free-flowing mobility, and I'm ready to actually release this fear of my body. Okay, super grateful. I shared that information. That wasn't supposed to be like that in depth, but it seems like y'all need it. So here you go. Okay. All right, so the next is a body movement scan. We did it. Now I need you to check in with, we talked about this earlier, but I'm just gonna re-emphasize it on it, is fear in the mind. So I need everyone to pause and just take another intentional breath with me as you breathe in. Take some space up. You're powerful, you're loving, you're sweetie, you're abundant. And exhale through the mouth. All right. How does your body interact with this? Fear in the mind. I want you to take that with you a little bit and just move on the next 24 hours with this concept of fear in the mind. And we are doing subconscious stuff, and consciousness is not just in the mind. Consciousness is in our soul, is in our whole being, but subconscious does in this human life interact with the brain. So we're going back to a little bit of the brain. I want to talk about fear in the mind because it's really powerful, especially in our society, in our day, in our life right now. And so fear in the mind is a very interesting concept. And I want you to go back to the question of, why are you fearful of those things in your everyday life? And what is your brain telling you to do, or reacting, or giving you signals to do once you are fearful? Woo! Oh, tell you, it's been a fucking week. This whole experience that we're experiencing in the fucking world, with the C, capital C thing that's happening. I don't say the actual word, but it is what it is. So talk about that. We talked about that. Oh, right. Okay. So right now, a lot of us are experiencing a sense of fear, in the sense that it's happening in the root chakra, in the sense we are afraid of our security, of our stability, of our necessities, of our finances, and it becomes a root chakra issue. So in that root chakra issue, fear lies there. So you can disassociate the fear rooted in the root chakra. So there's fear rooted in all different parts of our limbs. We talked about that. And then on an energetic perspective, there's also, could be, not always, doesn't have to. Some people are balanced and have been working on not being fearful. That there is fear in the root chakra. So second, this is a lot of exercise I've been giving y'all. Next exercise, what I'm going to get y'all to do, rub your hands. And this is energy vortexes that we have. So we have one right at the base of our spine, right here. Okay, one in our sacral chakra, right here. Over here. One in our stomach, one in our heart, one in our throat, one in our third eye, one in our crown, and one above us. And depending on which lineage that you're talking about in energy vortexes, there can be 14 in between those ones that I just said. There's more or there's less. So just depends on what lineage. I'm doing the Ayurvedic, Sanskrit, yogic, Dravidian lineage. So in that, there's only about 7, 8. I like to incorporate the ones above as well, but we're not going to go there. It's a little bit esoteric for this particular video. Okay, so then you're going to actually go into your, I'm going to actually show you what I'm doing. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually going to warm up my hands, and I'm going to put it right at the bottom here. And maybe you have some fear of putting your hands there, just like that. I'm not fearful of this. I'm healing myself right now, so I'm teaching you how to heal yourselves at the moment. Healthy body, healthy. If you break up the word, it's heal thy. So you're healing thy cells in this moment. So I'm activating my root chakra in this way, all the way at the bottom, and I'm just tapping in. So I'm gonna have my eyes closed, and you're like, okay, what sort of lower vibrational energy of fear is rooted in there, in like a reptilian caveman kind of experience, when our basic necessities are not met, people are like, fuck this third eye bullshit, I don't want to talk about no metaphysical shit, I need to get my money on, right? I need to make money decisions, I need to budget, I need to finance, and I have no time to be all philosophical. But the beauty in feeling abundant is through the esoteric. So in the stories of ancient Hindu deities, the Kundalini rises. And so if you have fear here, it's going to rise into the rest of your being. And that consciousness is just going to stay locked into your brain. That wasn't supposed to be this part of this topic, but it's coming up, so y'all need to hear it, okay? So Shiva is Dap here, and there's a beautiful serpent snake, beautiful queen, divine feminine meeting the divine masculine and coming down. So there's an experience where you're gonna amalgamate your consciousness with your root chakra. In that experience, what you're going to do is you're going to activate your root chakra and say, hey, I sense there might be some fear here. My fingers are sensing some pain here. I don't feel as stable. These are examples of what a weak root chakra would feel like. I feel I'm in scarcity mindset. I don't feel like I have enough. I have to budget and finance, and that gets me anxious. So those are some examples. I would suggest just checking in on that, seeing how you're doing the root chakra, wearing some red colors, eating some red-based foods to really ground yourself in the root chakra, and knowing that you can release the fear in the root chakra, particularly in this time, about money and finances. One of my great mentors tells me and teaches me that, money, we have to take it out from being a root problem to being a heart experience. And this is particularly for people who are soul-based entrepreneurs, because that's what I am. And she teaches content to me in that way. And I really felt it was really important to share with you. So what about the fear is deactivating your chakra? It's another way to check in, okay? We can go into chakras a whole nother, I could talk 45 minutes about chakras. We're not going to go there. My guys are like, yo, stay on fucking track, fam. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, you don't got to tell me twice. By the way, I haven't coughed like this in a really long time. So I'm only coughing right now because this is new to me. This online webinar is new to me. And I'm releasing a lot of energy through my throat chakra. I'm not sick. I don't have the C. Don't worry, but this is new for me, and I'm a little nervous, and I'm nervous because I'm new to doing this online webinar, but I'm not nervous in regards to sharing my gift. So there was a little bit about that, but that's the only reason why I'm coughing, or this little in my throat. All right, so after that, we'll talk about all of that. We're gonna go next into so we talked about setting intentions. I really like that. Once you go back and you realize all the fears, there's an experience where you can transmute fear. But before we do that, I need you to thank your fear. So this part of the video is going to be talking about thanking your fear. What does it mean to thank your fear? So I've read this beautiful article on fear because I love to do that, and it makes me a better teacher, so I do what I can. So I was reading about this article on fear, and it was like, thank you, fear. People always want to hate fear, but I thank you because you keep me safe. So I'm going to get y'all as a journal prompt, as a recording, as a fucking prompt. However you want to transmute and write or paint or record yourself, do by all means. But writing for me is a great tool. So I would write, thank you, fear. And this is going to be a letter thanking your fear. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for telling me that I couldn't trust. Thank you for telling me I shouldn't trust that person. Thank you for showing me that I have had trauma in the past, so I can't trust people. So you're actually showing me that I shouldn't be so trustworthy, or I should have healthy boundaries around trust. Thank you for showing me where I need to be better. Thank you for showing me that we can work together. You can work with your fear. This whole video is making me so grateful. I'm like sharing so much information and I almost want to cry every time. But going back to what we were going to say, thanking fear is so important. So write that out, see how it goes. Because when you know that you're fearful of something and you're willing to change, that, my beings, that, my friends, that, my soul tribe, is when we have the power to transmute fear. But we need to thank it first, because it's there for a reason. Going back to caveman times, our fear was an indicator. Fear, fight or fight. And that's gonna, like, if you're scared, what the fuck are you gonna do? You're either gonna run away or you're gonna fucking stay there and be a boss person. So coming back into our 3D experience, and guides are telling me to be sensitive of the situations that you're in right now, that we're all in as a society in the moment, about C, the capital C, and how you can thank your fear in this moment, because they're valid. Your fears are valid. So I want you to give them space so you can heal them by allowing the validity of them. My Indian accent kind of came in through there. All right, so thanking your fear is so important. You can actually turn that into a prayer. A thank you fear prayer. That's what I wrote down. So thank you for protecting me. Thank you for witnessing where I was stuck. Thank you for showing me I can be better. Thank you for being an indicator, all these different things. You're going to find your own prayer anywhere to thanking your fear. So when you're ready to transmute that, again, you need to set the intention. Bring the intention from the brain into your heart. Let your brain and your heart and your soul talk, right? Intention, sometimes when we're like, what are your intentions? When people say it, it's like, where's your mind at? But I want to take it further. I do mean that in one layer, but I also want to mean like, where's your heart at? What do you want to transmute with fear through your heart? So when I took a channeling course, like we just don't just channel through our third eye. We channel, it like goes through different parts of our vortex for us to experience what we need to experience. For if we're going to channel through our mouth, as I'm doing, I need to understand the information through the guides, and then I need to download it through my human body, into my root chakra, and then come back up in a creative way, and then being shared as a purposeful tool for you. That seems complicated, but it's not complicated, because your body automatically does that for all different forms of things. So you're going to set an intention. Once we are identified this beautiful energy of fear, you can actually use this energy to transmute, to push, to clear and welcome more of what you want. When you take out what you don't want, you have space. You have space. And is this what I want to say? I just want to make sure. I always want to be vigilant with my words. If you aren't aware of what healthy space is, then you won't be able to fill that space or leave it completely open. Let me rephrase that. That was a little wordy. What I'm saying is, When you identify fear and you want to transmute it and you're ready to transmute it, you're setting an intention. I want to transmute it because, and that's going to be your journal prompt. Why do you want to transmute this? Now, when we have stuff in a closet, right, and we take it out, there's empty space. Now, for people who have done this work a lot, and for people who are just familiar with this, they can just have empty space and feel really grateful. And then through that space, they create more power, more the opposite of what they need from fear, right? That's one way of doing it. But some people, when they clear out the space and they have empty space and they still have old habits on welcoming fear, guess what? You're going to have this empty space and you're going to keep welcoming back in fear. So I need you to realize and open an understanding on what am I not going to welcome back after I transmute this fear? That's a great motherfucking question I just channeled. And it's for us. You and me. What am I not going to welcome back once I channel this fear? Being vigilant about that. Allowing and talking to yourselves. Like, all right, body. Like, I'm aware. Okay, I'm aware. So setting the intention, transmuting it. When you're transmuting it, what are you gonna put into that space? What new stories are you gonna put into that space? What kind of items are you gonna hang back into that closet? So in that closet, you just cleared out your skeletons, and now you have empty space. You get to breathe in some air, some new, fresh, clean air, and now you get to integrate exactly what you want. Fear can be transmuted. It's a really passionate, dramatic energy. And that energy can be used in a very healthy way. And that is one of my powerful insights I want to share with you. You don't just have to like kick it out the door. See ya. Don't ever come back. It's like, that was funny. You can actually allow yourself to say thank you. And I'm going to use this like a dung beetle that starts with a little bit of poop and then cultivates a whole lot of poop and carries that. What? You know how powerful they are? They're one of the world's best recyclers. A dung beetle. So they take poop and they use that-ish. Pun intended. So they're going somewhere with it. They're building momentum. So you can actually take that and transmute into that dramatic, passionate energy into other things as well. Setting the right intention. So you're taking this energy, you're pulling it back with an arrow, setting the intention. You're like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want. Thank you, fear. Thank you, fear. Let that fear, now it's being transmuted. Bullseye. Now you're exactly where you need to be. All right. So you're going to put it, you need to know where you're going to put it. Yeah. When I'm fearful, now I need you to know what you do action-wise as a human. When I'm fearful, you need to fill in this blank. When I'm fearful, because why am I'm saying this? I'm saying this because I need you to be intentional with what you do. Ooh, a lot of releasing as an individual when you are fearful. Do you eat more? Do you procrastinate more? Do you when I'm fearful, do you stutter more? Like, what do you do when you're fearful? What are your habits? Look at our habits. We're looking at our habits. We're creating a new story. We're recreating our DNA right now. We're recreating a new soul contract right now. We're recreating and clearing up karmic debt right now. So when you are, let me write that down. Karmic debt, clearing karmic debt. That's a good Instagram post. Clearing karmic debt. Thank you, guys. My hands be itchy, yo. So karmic debt. You're claiming karmic debt right now. And I just need you to be vigilant on your behaviors. So when I'm fearful, so when you're doing that, now you know how to, you're like, fuck, I'm doing the thing. I'm procrastinating on the thing. So now I will go in the direction by transmuting the energy. So you can stretch it out or eventually you'll get so good at what you're doing, this won't even seem such a large process. You'll just be like, oh, I need to do this. I was procrastinating, or I was X because of fear. Now I just need to go into the direction into what I was wanting to do before fear was protecting me. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. This video was supposed to be done 2 days ago because I wanted to be, you know, like a overly prepared individual. Nope, my ass fucking procrastinated because I didn't know what the outcome of this was going to be. I didn't. And so before I was going to put this video on and set up my whole shell and everything, my water, before I set this up, I was wasting so much time, because I felt like it was supposed to be such a big thing. And I have the knowledge comes through, the knowledge comes through. At the same time, I've done this work so often that I was like, okay, Anushka, I identified the situation. I'm like, you're procrastinating because you're fearful of, you don't know how this is going to turn out. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to move gently into the direction of what I need to do. And therefore I did it. I didn't give myself excuses of, oh, I'm tired, I have to be up at 7 a.m. in the rising. No, this shit's gonna be done today because I believe in my fucking conscious soul tribe. And we're gonna send this shit today. We're gonna do this shit today. We're gonna be brave enough to stay in the fucking vibration of what you need. So guess what? I set this up and I did it because I know this means I'm looking at my fear and I'm transmuting my fear in a very gentle way. Sometimes it can be done gently. And you can also be the person who plunges deep into it. So you could be both of those. One person would like do something where they need to like plunge so deep into it. They're like, all right, I'm in it. Some people have to be gentle. And part of my work here on earth is also being gentle with myself as much as it taking a plunge. So you learn how to navigate through addressing fear through a gentle way or through a very masculine plunging way. So that's another prompt that I didn't even write, but it's needing to come up. How are you going to address fear? Are you going to address it in a very gentle way? Or are you going to address it in a very divine masculine way? In a very like, yo, we're going to fucking do this. We're going to be a warrior. And that's some shit, you know? The reason why I'm saying it like that is because sometimes you need to be very gentle with yourself and adjust the fear and, you know, be kind, because maybe you had some like little baby trauma that like your little inner child was afraid of, and you need to talk to them a little sometimes. And then sometimes you're like, let's get it poppin', you know? So I was being very gentle at the same time, like, yo, Anushka, shut this shit up right now. So in that moment, because I've been doing this work so much, I knew how to do it very fast, and I knew how to fluctuate between my divine masculine and my divine feminine, flowing and also allowing myself to express and feel free, not being chained, you know? And if you're all wondering, that is spirulina water in distilled activated charcoal water. Get your fucking spirulina on, fam. I have a coupon code if anyone's wondering. It's join into my newsletter. Email me if you want to join my newsletter, and you'll get a coupon code on spirulina powder on Bush Doctor Vibes. Okay, last few things. We're just wrapping up right now. I want you to notice your behaviors, and then after that, after you notice your behaviors, I want you to sit back. Be still or silent, or take a walk in a space where you're processing. You've written, you've intended, you've thanked your body, you've stretched it out, you've released the fear, you welcome more of the opposite of what you need, opposite of the fear. You've actively dedicating your cellular being to be more of, what's the opposite of fear for you? What is the opposite of fear for you? For me, the opposite of fear for me is flow. The opposite of fear for me is not being stagnant. So it's flow. The opposite of fear for me is pride, confidence. Opposite of fear for me is being rooted in who I am. So going back into the root chakra, when fear is rooted into your root chakra, I need to know who the F are you? And who the F are you when you don't have fear in your being? I'm going to leave with that. It's 50 minutes on the clock. So that's what I wanted to own this webinar to be 1 hour long. I'm going to get you to close this fucking space. We're going to light some sage. And you're going to just take a few moments to, we're going to thank technology. We're going to thank the cosmos. We're going to thank our ancestors, our masters, our teachers, our loved ones for all being part of this journey, this process, this up-leveling. All of us are here for a reason. So thank you for being here and identifying and clearing and putting your fear to rest. Putting your fear to rest. Look at the smoke. This beautiful smoke. You can close your eyes. You can, if you saw the smoke, just before you close your eyes, you can take it and pull it around your aura, cleanse, and send it down to the earth. And then you can close your eyes and just hold on for 4 silent breaths. I like to hold space for silence for people. It shows them the reality of who they are and the truth of who they are. Namaste. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this beautiful process. Thank you for joining on to my free webinar. This is a part of a 3-part series. The second part of this series is a Pay What You Feel 30-minute Akashic session. I go through the exact type of work that I just did. Through an individual process. It's a little bit more in depth. I create custom meditations, custom healing for you in these Akashic healings. They're Pay What You Feel from now until April 6th, 2020. And I'm more than happy to be of service. So please reach out, email me, consciousprod@gmail.com. We can set you up and plan you for your 30-minute free or Pay What You Feel Akashic session. Yeah. And for this free live session is what I meant initially. So the third part of the series is a $44 online webinar, and it's about removing self-doubt from ourselves. So stay tuned. It's $44, usually $77. Really being vigilant about people who are going through a lot of experiences because of this health quarantine in 2020 of March. I'm very vigilant that people might not have that, but I'm very vigilant people are able to reach out and receive the healing that they need. My gifts are very powerful at this time, the most potent they've ever been, and they just keep getting better. And I really, from the infinity of my being, came here to be this. So I'm boldly being present here to welcome you in this space. Thank you so much for being part of this process. Ashe, namaste, amen, amin. Thank you so much. And we're gonna end off with a beautiful track. Ooh. Again, it's Med Derek with Fortunate.
She be begging, baby, come and eat me like a pet. I got options, I got hella options. I ain't vibing with no people that are toxic. I got options, I got hella options. I think you toxic. I got options,
I got options.
I ain't vibing with no people that are toxic.
Yo, I got hella.
I ain't fucking with you if I think you toxic. Ooh, I think that they pop.
Oh, shout out. Yo, shout out. So that link will be in the description of the video that you'll send. Shout out to Derek. Shout out to Fortunate for being and sending this magic all over the world. Much love. Peace.